Hi, I'm Mike. Our John Deere Gator, while not essential to running the ranch, sure makes things a lot easier, and it's on its last leg. Today we start the process of giving it a new life and a new engine on our Wyoming Life. Hi there, and welcome back. If this is your first time here, thanks for joining us. Please consider subscribing and coming along with us as we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Please stick around to the end of the video. I have a very special announcement to make about our Wyoming Life and the future of our channel, so that'll be coming up in just a few minutes here. When we first came to the ranch, four-wheelers ruled the roost. If you had to go out and help a cow or a calf or fix fence or check water, normally the four-wheeler was the vehicle of choice. Gilbert, my father-in-law, he had the Cadillac of ranch vehicles and his little John Deere Gator, one that we still have here on the ranch and use almost daily. After moving here and beginning our new life here in Northeast Wyoming, one of Gilbert's birthdays happened to roll around like they do every single year. Gilbert was notoriously hard to shop for, but he had hinted to Erin's mom that he might enjoy a new Gator to drive around the ranch. Cattle prices were good, I guess, that year, and for his birthday, Gilbert got this brand new 2011 John Deere 825i Gator. I think that was the first year that the 825i was available, and I remember hearing that it cost Gilbert and the ranch about $14,000, more than my first 3 or maybe 4 cars combined, and I about choked. Then Gilbert put doors on it, and he drove it around for about a week before deciding he didn't like it, and he parked it in the shop, going back to his little Gator, which now has almost 7,000 hours on it. After a while of what I began to call the big Gator sitting in the shop, practically brand new, I asked Gilbert if I could use it. Winter was coming soon. I really didn't look forward to checking cows or helping during calving on a four-wheeler, and really no one was driving it. That was the beginning of my love-hate relationship with the big Gator. We began using it almost on a daily basis. It became a tool to move and to feed cows, and most of all, it became a way to get from point A to point B. The ranch is almost 6 miles across, so it helps to have a vehicle. Our kids have been growing up in and around the Gator. They've learned how to steer while sitting on my lap, and they've even learned how to drive on their own as we sit back and hope they don't crash into anything.
You're good.
About a year or so ago, we started noticing the Gator was losing some of its get up and go. It was harder to start, took a bit longer to warm up, and began having even more problems. We spent time replacing the starter, fuel injectors, filters, even the water pump. But each problem we fixed seemed to lead to something sometimes bigger. And now with failing compression and a lack of power, a decision had to be made. We priced out comparable brand new Gators at about $27,000. Of course, it has heating and air conditioning and windows you can roll up and down, but I still couldn't justify spending that kind of money to replace this old girl. The next option we looked at was actually rebuilding the engine with costing about $2,000 to $2,500 in parts. We could replace portions of the engine that are failing while saving the rest, including the main block, the starter, alternator, fuel rail, almost everything. If we added labor costs for machining that we may need, we figured about $3,000 for me to rebuild the engine. Then we looked at our last option, and that was replacing the engine altogether. In the beginning, I really wasn't sure if that was an option. I thought we might end up with somebody's rebuilt engine, and then I started looking at crate engines, brand new, never been used. Engines that are just ready to go in. Now, I thought pricing might do us in, but to my surprise, I actually found a brand new engine from John Deere that came in at $3,300. And thanks to a little bit of luck, it all came together now, in the beginning of October, or hunting season. You may wonder what one has to do with the other, but we're lucky enough to have a friend that comes out from California to hunt with his group of friends that might just be able to help us out.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm one of the hunters here on the ranch. You may remember me from the Hunter Bunch song.
The Hunter Bunch, the Hunter Bunch, that's the way we became the Hunter Bunch. Yeah!
Yep, that was me, unfortunately. So anyhow, I'm over here helping Mike with his gator. It's been giving him some troubles here, and the last time I was here for the ranch roundup, I brought some tools and diagnosed it and found that it really could use a new engine. So that's what we're doing right now. So I live in Sacramento, California, and I owned a motorcycle repair shop. So I fixed dirt bikes and street bikes and ATVs, UTVs, things like this here. So when I told Mike there, he was like, ooh, maybe you can help me with this on your trip up here. And I'm absolutely happy to oblige that request.
With the Gator in the shop, it now becomes a game of how to take the old engine out and do it quickly and do it safely. Jeff is ready to go and hunt, but thankfully he can take a little bit of his time here to help us out and get the process started. Removing the engine might be the easy part, but still it takes time. Hoses have to be disconnected, the clutch needs to be removed and set aside. Every single bolt has to be accounted for and labeled and saved. A great job for Mackenzie, who comes out to give us a hand, followed by Lincoln and then Grace. Some might argue that a shop with tools and grease and men cursing at broken bolts is no place for a kid to be. But I would like to argue that, well, it's this kind of experience that gives them a look into what keeps the ranch going. We can't just take the Gator and drop it off at the John Deere dealer where repairs would probably cost us at least double. But we can count on our friends to help us out and teach us something new along the way.
Right here, okay, and it's rubber mounted and everything, and then that's mounted to the chassis up here. But there's a big bolt right there, there's a big bolt right there, those two.
Are we gonna screw them out?
I've already got the exhaust manifolds undone because the exhaust, you see, it's hanging. Okay, got to do the coolant hoses and get the coolant out of it.
After removing even more fuel lines and the ECM, which is the brains of the Gator, we're able to send Jeff off to hunt, and we can finish up the job ourselves. Just a few bolts are holding the engine in the Gator, where the transmission will stay behind, and we can start lifting the engine out of the chassis. With a little help from Lincoln, who's 5 years old and fully in charge of the extraction process.
You almost got it.
With this portion done, the engine is clear. We can now clean up the Gator a little bit and get ready to drop in the new engine, which is sitting right over there in a crate, ready to go. It won't be easy, but we do look forward to bringing you along, as we always do. That'll be coming up in our Thursday video, hopefully, although I can't guarantee that. Who knows what'll happen. Speaking of, it's my pleasure to announce to you, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, a whole new addition to Our Wyoming Life, and that is a brand new channel for you to enjoy. It's called Beyond the Ranch, and from here forward, that'll be the place where you will find our live streams, our live in the pasture life streams, bringing branding live and a whole lot more, including behind the scenes videos, and for the first time ever, our podcast, which is not only available on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify, but it'll also be available in video format right there on the Beyond the Ranch channel. It's an effort to give you what you've told us you want. This will allow you the chance to subscribe to exactly the type of programming you want to see. If you like live streams and behind the scenes stuff and some of the more crazy, wacky, wild things we do, this new channel might be right up your alley. And if you don't, then you don't have to see it on Our Wyoming Life. All you have to do is head down to the description box below and subscribe to the new channel Beyond the Ranch by just clicking the link, or search YouTube for Beyond the Ranch and check it out. If you follow us on Facebook, we'll have updates there as well. And if you do subscribe, take an extra second and hit that bell button and choose all so that you get notified when we go live or post other material that's just a little bit over the fence and on the other side. Thanks a bunch. We're super excited for that, and I'm really excited to finish this project and get the Gator back up and going. Keeping downtime at an absolute minimum is, well, very important. Thanks for your support, and as always, thanks for being a part of our Wyoming life.